All right. Welcome everyone to the El Toro La Liga show. Today, obviously, match day 3, game week 3 in La Liga. Obviously, got a lot to talk about. There have been a few games that haven't happened, obviously, over the weekend. But obviously, before I get started, please do hit the like button on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the live chat as well. I will be going live almost immediately after this stream for the Champions League draw, and I am doing it with a few guests as well. Some of them being the Bayern View, Charlie's Take, True Gooner, who is a true Gooner, both in the literal and the football sense, and a few others as well. Michael 10 TV, I believe, as well, the Ajax fan and all that. But yeah, as I said, please, I will put the link to that, to my live reaction to the draw, which is immediately after this El Toro show. So obviously, I will try to do my best to make this quick, so I have a little bit of time to prep myself for that show. But without further ado, we might as well get started. Now, obviously, we start off with the opening match of the game week, and that is Elche against Levante. Obviously, both of these sides have yet to win this season, but there's only been 2 games. But also, they are both newly promoted sides. Obviously, both of them returning to La Liga after 2 or 3 years, and 3 years out of La Liga. Both of them are actually have shown to be actually pretty decent when it comes to being very competitive. Obviously, both of these sides played the sort of big teams. Elche played Atlético this past weekend. Levante played Barcelona. Both of them didn't win, but it's kind of expected. But also, they put up a really good showing in both of the previous games. Win probability-wise, 44% Elche win, 29% for a draw, 27% for a Levante win. The league table doesn't really matter too much at the moment, so we won't talk too much into it. Here's some insights. Obviously, both of them were actually the top 2 in the Segunda as well. Both of them got automatically promoted last season. Elche have won 2 of the last 10 home games against Levante in all competitions, and obviously last season they didn't beat Levante during the Segunda last season when both got promoted. Levante have not won any of the last 6 away games against Elche in La Liga. Only against Barcelona, who they played. Valencia and Malaga, they have played more away without a win. Elche have scored in each of their 6 home games against Levante in La Liga. So they have a pretty good record there. And it says that Deportivo La Coruña, they have a good record. Fuck. Elche have lost 2 of their 3 home games against Valencian sides. Obviously, those being Levante, who they play against, Valencia and Villarreal. So, look, they don't have a good record against teams from that area. And finally, Elche have not lost any of the last 7 La Liga games, though they've drawn both of them so far this season. 2 wins, 5 draws. Doesn't really matter too much. But if they do not lose this game, it would be the longest consecutive unbeaten one ever in La Liga. So my predictions for this game, I think both of them have looked good in different spells of it. I might have to go with the away side. I think Levante have the better quality, but Elche have done well for themselves. But I will go for a Levante win. I'm going for a big 3-1 win for Levante. That will be my prediction. 3-1 for Levante. All right, and before we continue on, some of people in the chat as well. We have Charlie as well. Charlie's takes. Big up to Charlie as well. And UCL draw. Yes, obviously, as I said, I will be doing a show with Charlie, with the Bayern View, with True Guna, with I believe Michael as well, and a few others, which is happening within the next hour. I will post the stream on the live chat as well, so that you guys can see it. So yeah, I will do it. It's immediately after this show, so go check that out. But yeah, let me actually zoom in as well so that you guys see who I'm talking about. It is Valencia against Getafe. Valencia against Getafe. Both of these sides, pretty-ish decent start to the season as well. Valencia, 2 draws so far. Getafe, I believe they've actually have a 100% record. If you look at the table, Getafe right there, 2 wins out of 2. So a pretty good start for them. 43% for a Valencia win, 32% for a draw, 25% for a Getafe win. Obviously, before I continue, there is some potential big news. The Getafe striker, center forward, Uche, is potentially leaving Getafe, so that could be a big play in this game and for the rest of the season for Getafe, because he's been probably the best player so far this season. Uche, the center forward of Getafe, could go to Wolverhampton Wanderers, maybe, or another club, who knows. But yeah, Valencia have not lost any of the last 3 games against Getafe, so they have a good record against them. Last time they lost, I believe, was in 2016, or something like that, or 4 consecutive, actually. Getafe have lost each of their 4 La Liga visits to the Mestalla, having picked up points in the previous 5 away. So, pretty decent record there. Now, or actually, worse record, I just realized. Valencia have failed to score in only 1 of the 20 home games in La Liga against Getafe, so that being a 0-0 draw, so they didn't even lose to them whenever they score, it seems like. Valencia have not won any of the last 5 La Liga games, albeit that was, when they started the season badly. So they might start the season badly, but they've had a couple of difficult games, Valencia. So we'll see. And Getafe have won both of their La Liga games so far this season, as I said, equaling their best record back in 2006, and have not started a La Liga season with 3 wins. And one of them has already been away at Celta Vigo. So they have a potential here to go 3 out of 3 and be one of the top performing teams in La Liga. It's tough to call. I just think that Valencia are probably going to have a little bit more. I just think potential of that Uche leaving, so he might not even be in the squad altogether. And I just think Valencia has it and might get the first win. But I'll go with a 2-0 win. This is actually on Friday night, so tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Spain time. Now, the next game here we have... The next game we have here is Alavés against Atlético Madrid. Alavés against Atlético. Look, both of them not really good-ish starts. Alavés somewhat okay. But yeah, Alavés 20% win, draw at 27%, Atlético at 53%. Atlético Madrid haven't won a game so far in La Liga. They've lost and drawn the 2 games so far. Alavés have not lost any of the last 3 home games against Atlético, so they have a good record against them, and keeping a clean sheet in all 3. So, look, pretty good record. Atlético have scored in it's literally the same stat it says. Moving on, Atlético have collected points in each of the last 4 away visits at Basque clubs, obviously those being Alavés, Sociedad, Athletic Club. So they have a okay record, just not at Alavés, I'm just saying. Alavés have not lost any of the last 5 La Liga home games. and alternating from a win and a draw. So it's likely going to be a draw. Atletico have not won the last 2 La Liga games and have failed to win in the first 3 in a season. Back in 2009 actually. So it could be bad history for Atletico, and I just have a feeling that Alavés might actually get the win here. I think they were kind of unlucky against Betis in the weekend, and I just think that Alavés will get the win here. I feel it, and I'm going with a 1-0 win for Alavés on Saturday afternoon. 1-0 for Alavés is my prediction for that game. All right, next up we have is Real Oviedo against Real Sociedad. Now, obviously, both sides not really good starts to the season. Obviously, Oviedo, playing against like the 2 teams in the Champions League, so they're kind of resting from that, and they are hosting as well. 27% for Oviedo win, 30% for draw, 43% for Sociedad win. I believe that Oviedo are the only team left in La Liga that have yet to score a goal. I have to fact check that. Yes, Oviedo are the only side so far that have yet to win, or well, not just win, but score a goal in La Liga so far. A 2-0 loss, and obviously this past Sunday, I believe it was, they lost to Real Madrid 3-0. So yeah, Real Oviedo have won 2 of the last 5 meetings against Sociedad in La Liga. Both of them have been at home, so look, they have something that they can claim. Sociedad have won 2 of the last 4 away games against Oviedo, so 2 wins, 2 losses in La Liga. But again, I'm just saying, long time ago. It's been like 24 something years, so take it with a grain of salt. Sociedad won 5-0 against Oviedo in '97. Again, long time ago. So, but that is the biggest away win in the top flight. So who knows? Real Oviedo have lost the last 3 La Liga games. Well, they've lost 2 so far this season while scoring a goal. They have not gone 3 consecutive La Liga defeats while scoring since October 1975. So, 50 years in the making if they don't win this or score. Real Sociedad have not won any of the last 3 La Liga games. So far, obviously, they've drawn the past 2 games. So my prediction for this game, I think Oviedo, will attack a little bit more in this game. Obviously, they played Real Madrid, which was their first home game of the season. So it was always going to be difficult. I just have a feeling that Sociedad might just have a little bit too much quality, probably, unfortunately. I'm going with a 2-0 win as well. 2-0 Sociedad is my prediction. But I hope Oviedo wins, So that's my prediction. Next up here we have is Girona against Sevilla. The 2 teams that have probably the worst possible starts in terms of performances and results. Both of them have lost both of their games, and not convincingly all season, or the past 2 games, obviously. 39% for Girona win, 29% for draw, 32% for Sevilla win. Now, just going down a little bit down the table, along with Oviedo and Levante, Sevilla and Girona, both at the bottom. Girona lost 5-0 to Villarreal, which we'll talk about later on in the show. Sevilla lost 2-1 at home to Getafe. I believe it was 2-1. So not great. Girona have won 6 of the last 7 La Liga games against Sevilla, losing 1. So, could be a good comeback from the 2 terrible performances so far against Rayo Vallecano and Villarreal. Sevilla have won 4 of the last 6 games against Girona in La Liga, but there's never been a draw. So seems like there will be a winner in this game. Girona have scored in each of the last 7 La Liga games against Sevilla. So they average at least 2 goals a game against them. So it's a pretty good record they have against them. Girona have not lost any of the last 4 La Liga matches. Oh, they have lost. Obviously conceding a lot of goals. And then obviously Sevilla have lost their last 4 La Liga. I mean, both teams are in bad form. So, but I just think that Girona's record against Sevilla over time, I think, will continue. And I think they have a point to prove more than Sevilla. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Girona. I will go with 2-1 Girona. All right. All right. Next up here we have is Real Madrid against Mallorca, which is obviously a big one for Real Madrid. Obviously, won both games so far this season. Mallorca, I believe they lost the opening game. I forgot who they played in the past weekend. But if you look here, 81% Real Madrid win, 13% draw, 6% Mallorca win. Forgot who Mallorca played. They drew, so. Oh yeah, they played Celta Vigo. That's who they played over the weekend. All right. But yeah, my throat, man, it's getting dry. Almost as dry as like the draws that Sociedad get. That's good water, man. Good water. You know what's good water? It's wet. Real Madrid have dropped points in the 2 games of last 5 against Mallorca. Obviously, if you remember at the start of last season, Real Madrid drew against Mallorca on the opening day of the season last season. This time they opened the 3rd game against them at home at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid have won each of the last 9 La Liga games against Mallorca. The last time being a defeat in 2009 when Juan de Ramos was one of the Mallorca managers. Charlie would remember him. I believe he was Tottenham manager. Mallorca have collected points in 4 of the last 6 La Liga away games against teams from the Community of Madrid or Comunidad de Madrid. Those being so far, I believe, being like teams like obviously the 2 Madrid clubs, Vallecano and Getafe. I believe those are the only 4. Obviously, Legan's got relegated. As many as they had in the previous 20. So, look, kind of improving their record there. Real Madrid have won their last 5 home games in La Liga, while only once in 2020-21 season have they won 6 games at home in a row. That being when they ended up winning the title in the 2024 season when they won the Champions League against Dortmund that season. Mallorca have not won any of the last 5 La Liga games, so they don't have a good record right now. And I just think it'll be the same sort of result here. I'll probably go with a 2-0 win as well. It's like another 2-0, I'm saying. For Real Madrid, obviously Mbappe is one of the top goal scorers so far, so I'm just saying. I think that's the celebration. All right, and before I continue on, I'll look at the chat. Obviously, a few comments coming in. We have Calcio with Rhino Z. Big up to you. What's happening? Doing well. Obviously, as I said, I'm doing Champions League. What do you call that? Champions League live reaction with Charlie Takes, who's in the chat, I believe, right here. I'm also doing it with Liam from the Bayern View and a few others. I'll post the link once I finish this show. But yeah, big up to you and big up to everyone, just as Calcio with Rhino Z says. All right, now let's talk about... Actually, I don't like talking about them. Celta Vigo. Obviously, as a Deportivo La Coruña fan, I want them to fail. Yeah, Celta Vigo playing against Villarreal in La Liga, both sides. Celta Vigo have already played 3 games. Villarreal only 2. But look here, Villarreal top of the table at the moment. Thank you, Girona, for doing that. But yeah, win probability 35% Celta Vigo win, 26% for a draw, and 39% for a Villarreal win. If you look at where Celta Vigo are at, where are they? Have they won a game? Oh, no, they fucking haven't. What a fucking surprise. They've already played 3 games and they're already playing catch up. Like, hilarious, man. They're cooked. They've already played 2 home games, and this is the 3rd home game. Jesus Christ. Now, some insights heading into this. Hopefully, it makes for good reading for Villarreal. After conceding at least 1 goal in the 17 consecutive matches against Villarreal, Celta Vigo have kept a clean sheet in their last one, which was a 3-0 win against them last season. Fantastic. Celta Vigo have not lost any of the last 4 La Liga home matches against Villarreal, so fantastic, mate, fantastic. Celta Vigo haven't not won the last 3 games in La Liga so far this season. They haven't started a league campaign without winning their first 4 since 21-22 season, 1 draw, 4 losses. Kind of hope it's a similar thing for them. Villarreal have won the last 8 La Liga matches, the longest current winning streak of any team. 8 wins, and they're already carrying on that form. Obviously, last season they went on a very good run of form to secure the Champions League spot, finishing 5th, and now they are top of the table, so pretty good start for them. They haven't gone 9 in a row since 2007. Villarreal are the top scoring team in La Liga so far this season, while only Barcelona have more shots on target than them. Now, obviously, Villarreal over the weekend beat Girona 5-0. Obviously, for any Canadians, Tajon Buchanan, that's how you say his name. He is the first player to score a hat-trick in La Liga this season, so big up to him, obviously. And my prediction is I hope he scores another hat-trick. Let's go 3. Oh, you know what? 3-2. Let's go for an exciting game. 3-2. Villarreal. Maybe Tajon Buchanan scores another hat-trick. 3-2. Villarreal. And another loss, hopefully, or drop points for Celta at home. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for, people. Next up on Sunday as well, we have is Real Betis against Athletic Club. Obviously, both teams heading into Europe this season. 33% Betis win, 30% for a draw, 37% for Athletic Club win. Obviously, Betis, they did play midweek as well, and they are actually both in 5th and 6th, both in the European spots. Betis have yet to lose in the 3 games, but they drew 2. One of them not as convincing, which was against Elche on the opening day, but they've at least got something. Betis have only lost 1 of the last 7 La Liga games against Athletic Club, so have a really good record against them. Athletic Club have not won any of the last 7 La Liga games away against Betis, so not great. Athletic Club have collected points in 10 of the last 11 visits to Andalusian clubs. Obviously, there's only 2 of them, being Sevilla and Betis. They'll probably get the win against Sevilla whenever they play them, which they have already, but that was in match day 1 in the San Mamés. Real Betis have only lost 2 of the last 18 La Liga games, but that was with Anthony, the GOAT. Meh. He's not yet in the team. Hopefully they sign him. Man United have to ship him. Come on. Athletic Club have won 5 of the last 6 La Liga games, including both games so far this season. They haven't started a top flight with 3 wins in a row since 2009. So some interesting stats. The thing is, I could just see this being I'll go with a draw. I think a draw might be what could be a likely scenario here. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. I just think maybe Betis just don't see it out. And Athletic Club, who knows? A couple more games to go. I believe I forgot to even put the timer of when I'm just assuming I'm doing it there. Now before I continue, some of the chat. Was it good for you? Thanks. Big up. Now, obviously, what's it? Okay. All right. A couple more games to go. Next up here, we have is Espanyol against Osasuna, also on Sunday. And you look 40% for Espanyol win, 30% for draw, 30% for Osasuna win. Look, Espanyol, decent start. Osasuna lost the opening game, but they did win the last game. So, both teams pretty okay, decent starts to the season for themselves. Espanyol have not won any of the last 8 La Liga games against Osasuna. 4 draws, 4 losses, last time being a 3-0 win in the 2016-17 season. So not a good record, Espanyol. Osasuna have collected points in the 8. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Espanyol have not lost any of the last 3 La Liga games so far. Obviously, 2 of them being this season. Osasuna have won 1 of the last 15 La Liga away games. Only 1. That was a 3-2 win against Valladolid, which I did a watch long for last season, which was actually a pretty good game. But they don't have a good record away, I would say, in terms of winning. In the last match against Valencia, which Osasuna played, they had 76% success rate in aerial duels, the highest percentage since 2014. Pretty good stat there for Osasuna, and I believe Osasuna might pick up the result, just not the result that they would like. I'll go with a 1-1 draw. 1-1 is my prediction. Espanyol and Osasuna. And now, finally, we are heading into the final game, which is Rayo Vallecano against Barcelona. Now, look at the win probability, 14% Vallecano win, 18% for a draw, 68% for Barcelona win. Actually, I completely forgot. I have to check. When do Vallecano play? Do they play soon? Okay, at 8 o'clock it says they play. So in 2.5 hours they play. And they have a 1-0 lead against Neman in the Conference League. And obviously if they don't lose, they will progress. I kind of hope they do. They're playing at home. And they don't have to travel. I don't want to think they're doing a rotated team. But, yeah. Now, Barcelona, obviously, 6 points out of 6. The only thing is, they nearly did not win against Levante. They nearly lost to Levante, or at least the first half. Whereas Vallecano, a win, but they lost the previous game. Now, obviously, I think the European game for Vallecano might affect them. Obviously, I hope they progress and make at least the group stage so that they actually compete in it. The thing is, it is at home to Barcelona, and I was not impressed with them. I was not. And Barcelona, I know, don't have a incredible record against Vallecano. Let's take a look. Vallecano have lost the last 3 La Liga since Inigo Perez's arrival. Yeah, 3 losses in La Liga so far against Barcelona. Not good. Barcelona have only won 1 of the last 4 La Liga away games against Vallecano. I told you, it's just not when it's under the current manager Inigo Perez. So look, Vallecano have a good record. I'm just saying. Barcelona have not lost any of the last 5 La Liga away games against teams from Madrid, so they have a good record. Rayo Vallecano have only won 1 of the last 8 La Liga matches, 5 draws, 2 losses. That one being a 1-0 win against Getafe last season, which I also did a watch long for. And I remember who scored. It was Florian Lejeune, former Newcastle man. That was good game, that one. After having won each of the last previous 3. Barcelona have won the last 9 away wins. Have won the last 9 away wins. 9 away games in La Liga. Longest one in competition since March 2021. My prediction. I said I was not impressed with Barcelona. I just don't know if the European games going to take out a lot out of this Vallecano team. They play on Monday, I believe. Or, no, Sunday? Actually, I don't want. I'm really bad at remembering. I'll go with a big draw. 2-2. 2-2 draw. A Desmond. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. A Desmond. All right. And now, people. Now it is time for the El Toro de la Semana, the Bowl of the Week. Obviously, this goes to the best player of the weekend in La Liga. And what that means is that who's the best player right now in La Liga. And that player is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to say that. It is Buchanan, obviously scoring a hat-trick against Girona in the previous game in La Liga, obviously. And obviously not a good performance by Girona, but Villarreal were fantastic against Villarreal. And yeah, he had a very good game, scoring the first hat-trick of the season. So game week 1 was, Nico Williams, my star boy. Game week 2, the Bowl, the El Toro, the Bowl is Buchanan. So that makes it 2 out of 2 of teams from the Champions League this coming season, but not the big ones. So good for both of those players. Claiming my special El Toro de la Semana, the Bowl of the Week, the best player of the week. Now, it is time to talk about the Segunda. The Segunda. All right. Right there. All right. So, some of the recap matches over the past weekend. We had Eibar beating Granada 3-0. So, Deportivo, we played Granada in the first game of the season, and we beat them. Granada, mate, it's not looking good. They've lost both games so far. Not looking good. Castellón lost to Valladolid, but that's a little bit of a tough one for them. Leganes through Deportivo, we played them on Monday night. Leganes drew with Cadiz 1-1. Miranda is continuing their bad start and the expected bad start, losing at home to Huesca. Quetta lost 1-0 to Sporting Gijón, which I know Deportivo will playing them soon. Zaragoza, just like in the same position as Granada, Zaragoza are fucked. They are genuinely fucked. But Andorra, they got the win against them. Obviously, Deportivo. I did the show with Charlie, the La Piña Rosa, which you guys can obviously check on my YouTube channel or Charlie's YouTube channel. We talked about both Palermo and obviously for me, Deportivo. 0-0, we draw against Burgos. Could have done better. Almeria got a away win at Contra Leonesa. Malaga beat the B team of Real Sociedad. Yes, the B team of Sociedad. Albacete losing 3-2 at home against Racing Santander. And finally, Cordoba lost to Las Palmas, which I actually watched during the Newcastle United game against Liverpool. So I had it on the side as well. Let me just see. Okay. Let me just quickly get it sorted there. So, the games for the upcoming weekend or Real Sociedad B, the B team, against Almeria at home, which is the early kickoff game. And then you have Sporting Gijón against Leonesa. So, seems like a game that Sporting Gijón should win. Racing Santander play Quetta. Valladolid play Cordoba. Castellón against Zaragoza. So, it seems that one, Castellón Zaragoza, I might have an eye on just to see if Zaragoza are actually genuinely fucked. Andorra play Burgos. Cadiz play against Albacete. So a battle of the south. Las Palmas against Malaga. So that's also a big game to look out for. Granada against Mirandes. The battle of two teams that last season were pretty decent. Now both shit. Huesca take on Eibar. And then the final game of the weekend or week is Leganes against Deportivo La Coruña. We're going away at the Botaque Stadium in Leganes in Madrid. Long journey. I'm not going to the game, I'm just saying. But looking forward and hopefully hopefully we win. Lagana's 2 draws in back-to-back games so far. For us, we drew 0-0, so last game. But yeah, not great, but I think we can improve. We can improve, definitely. But yes, that's right. That's right. Now, obviously, that's I'm going to wrap up this show here, people. So far, it's been a really good show. I've so far actually really enjoyed my La Liga, the El Toro La Liga show. So far, obviously, it's only been episode 3, but I'm pretty much looking forward for the rest of the season. Obviously, as I said, I am doing the Champions League live reaction on my channel, which is almost immediately after the stream. So let me just put UCL draw reaction starts after the show. Let me just type it down. Right there, people. What is it? Right there, people. So, my Champions League live reaction, I'm doing it with the Bayern View, Charlie State, True Gooner, who is a Gooner, as I said, Michael, the Ajax fan, Rory, I believe Gio from Juve Cornercast, whoever, a lot of people, probably AK and all the Man City fan. So obviously, as I said, I am doing my live draw reaction, which is almost immediately after this show. I will be joining them. It is dual stream across a lot of our channels and all that, including mine. And I hope you guys choose my channel to chat in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the draw and all that. Obviously, what the La Liga teams get, and obviously, as a Newcastle United fan, I want to see which La Liga team we get. I hope we get 2 La Liga teams, and I hope both are away so that I could actually maybe go to one of those games. I'm praying that we get like my prefer, like the one game I really prefer having because of ticketing and scheduling my travel. I want Atletico Madrid away at the Wanda Metropolitano because it seems like it's easier to get tickets there than away at Real Madrid or Barcelona. Preferably, I prefer getting Madrid's, one of the Madrid teams, but ticket price wise and all that, Atletico Madrid away is my absolute hope we get. I hope it's Atletico hosting Newcastle United in the Champions League. That's the dream draw for me. That is what I want. That is like, I will go to that. I do not care. I will go to that game. Looking forward to it. As I said, join the show. So I'll keep it here, mine as well. As I said, please do hit the like button on the stream. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys almost immediately after this show ends. Obviously, I'll be joining with others and all that. Looking forward to it. Champions League, here we come. Ciao.